Hi, I'm Pip Bricher and I'm here to report on the progress that the POLDER working group has made on federating metadata search for the polar regions. A couple of years ago, the POLDER group formed and we identified a particular challenge for data managers in polar regions, and particularly for the users of the data that is curated by data managers, which is that the data are scattered across, we believe, more than 80 catalogues that hold polar relevant metadata. So our best guess, some of those are exclusively Arctic, some are exclusively Antarctic, and many cover both poles. As part of trying to think about how to bring that data together into perhaps some sort of a federated search, we built this slightly terrifying matrix of source catalogues and aggregating catalogues to see if we could tease out those relationships. Obviously, this was a task that would have been much simpler if, as we had assumed when we started, there were 20, maybe 30 catalogues involved. And we have subsequently found this is impossible to keep updated and for us to maintain records of those changes. So the very kind folk at Carleton University and CCADI have developed this tool, which is in beta, and Matthew King will be telling you a lot more about tomorrow at 1750 UTC. And this is a sneak preview of what it does. It has all that information from that original spreadsheet and allows you to map that, and so we can see those relationships in a graphic way. It allows us to add new records, to edit those existing ones, and maintains that history of changes. So that is a nice mapping of the problem. It tells us where the data are, or where the metadata records are, and where they're currently being harvested to, where potential sources of duplication might come in. But they don't get us to a federated search, which is the next main area of work that the POLDER group has been working on. And we've started developing a best practice guide for data centers to implement schema.org as some markup language to enhance what they're doing with their existing metadata standards. We're not asking anyone to replace the work they already do with their fully rich metadata standards that have been developed over a long time. But schema.org is a potentially lighter weight addition that can be added on top of that. It can be standalone as well. But we want to use that for core metadata fields to act as a kind of an interchange format to support the development of a lightweight federated metadata search. We're making recommendations that allow schema.org to be expanded to a much broader range of data types than had previously been considered. So an atlas or a video or a conversation, all sorts of kinds of data that are coming out, particularly from the Arctic community. We've also made some recommendations on managing complex time and space situations, so deep time or intermittent, cyclical, seasonal data. We'd love you to join us. If you go to tinyurl.com/polderbest, that will take you to the working document and you have commenting access. So please come and join that conversation. And through POLDER as well, we've also got a really exciting new development in that the World Data System International Technology Office has hired a developer, hi Melinda, to start trying to implement a pilot federated search tool using the Science on schema.org recommendations and the POLDER additions to that, and working with a select group of data centers to try and implement a pilot federated metadata search. And at the very least, what we hope is that will illuminate some of the areas where more work is needed, where some of the challenges are going to come in making this a functional federated search tool. So you can see there's a lot of action going on there. We're mapping existing systems, we're developing best practices to implement an interchange format through schema.org that will support federated search, and also through the World Data System and in conjunction with things like Science on Schema and the Ocean Info Hub project, helping to develop the search tools that will make use of that. We would love you to get involved with any or all of those, and probably the easiest way to do that is to email me and I will point you in the right direction. Thank you for your time.